You may recall the Toyota accelerator scandal from some 10, 15 some odd years ago. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, here's what happened. There were Toyota vehicles, Camrys, Lexus vehicles included, who were somehow mysteriously just taking off. The accelerator was getting stuck to the ground, apparently. And people were getting in all kinds of accidents, and people were dying, and they were running off of cliffs and into traffic and into trees, and they couldn't stop these vehicles. And there was a big controversy what was happening with these runaway Toyota vehicles. Lots of studies, lots of experiments. Ultimately, when all is said and done, Toyota gets a massive fine, the largest corporate fine in American history by the Department of Justice, to the tune of billions of dollars. And we still don't really know what happened. Now, Malcolm Gladwell looked at this further in one of his podcast episodes on revisionist history. Highly recommend it if you haven't heard it before. And what he did was he went back and looked at, well, what actually happened here, and went and talked to some of the experts to see, what their theories were and what happened. And I won't spoil it for you, but long story short, they talked to some experts in the automotive space who actually took vehicles out on a track. And what they did was they wanted to see if you floor the accelerator on these cars, Toyota cars, other cars too. You floor the accelerator on these cars. And if the accelerator is all the way down to the ground, like pedal to the metal, full throttle, and then at the same time you slam the brakes, what happens? And what they were trying to prove was that even if the accelerator was somehow flawed, if the drivers would have hit the brakes, which is a logical thing to do, would the car stop? They wanted to explore that. So they took out a Toyota Camry, and they took it on the track, took it 100 miles an hour. Full throttle all the way. This thing is huffing and puffing down the track trying to get to 100 miles an hour, right? And full throttle on the gas, the driver slams the brakes. Doesn't let up on the accelerator. Still full throttle on the gas, slams the brakes with its other foot at the same time to see what happens. And guess what happens? It's not pretty, and the engine smokes and makes all kinds of funny noises, and it skids out, but the car stops. Right? And then they said, okay, well, maybe that's a Toyota Camry, not the most powerful engine in the world. They take a Ford Mustang Shelby, which is basically a tricked out Ford Mustang with, oodles of horsepower, right? Really, really powerful engine, and did the same thing. Full throttle, get to 100 miles an hour, and while the accelerator is all the way down to the ground, pedal to the metal, slam the brakes at the same time. Both the accelerator and the brakes down all the way. And what happens? The car stops. The lesson in all this was that when accelerator and brakes are both engaged, brakes win. The same is true for your business. Lots of people think about growth, talk about growth, explore strategies for growth, investigate tactics for growth. They want to grow, and they invest a lot of time and energy in growing their business, but they've got the brakes on in the business. And the most common brake that I see that business owners have on without realizing it is the different forms of self-sabotage. Reasons why they're sabotaging the growth of their business despite their preoccupation with wanting to grow it and exploring ways to grow it. Now, in my experience, there's 3 common ways you can self-sabotage in your business. We've got a free training on this that we did with our actual clients inside the 90-day pipeline that I'd like to give you for free. If you want a copy of it, go ahead and comment "brakes" below this video and we'll shoot it over right away.